So we all know about directors. You probably have a few favorites. Their names are pasted all over films and they get a lot of credit for the final product being their vision. But what do they really do? Does he or she just direct actors? Today I want to do a case study of David Fincher, one of the most prolific and meticulous directors working today, and discuss his role in the creation of The Social Network. The screenplay for The Social Network was written by Aaron Sorkin, one of the most well-known writers currently working. Sorkin's script was brilliant. It was fast-paced, witty, and filled with that signature Sorkin dialogue.
She just made a lot of that up.
She was under oath.
Then I guess that would be the first time somebody's lied under oath.
The script was immediately a big deal, and it was definitely going to get made. Now it just depended on who would direct. This is where David Fincher entered. Fincher is known for being an exacting person. He knows exactly what he wants, and he's not afraid to fight for it. Former Fox chairman Bill Mechanic called Fincher systematically anti-authoritarian. Scott Rudin, producer for The Social Network, explained that Fincher has an anarchist's mentality, and that Fincher's success early in life created many people who tried to take that from him, which in turn continued his disdain for authority and systems. Fincher was only 28 when he was brought on to direct his first feature film, Alien 3, and was fired 3 different times throughout work on the film. His constant battle with the studio ended up creating a film that neither party was happy with.
So yeah, I signed up naive and went off to Pinewood to be sodomized ritualistically for 2 years.
But that was back then. Fincher came into The Social Network as an established director with a reputation of being strong-willed. When Fincher sat down with a line producer to see what the film would cost, they thought it would cost $42 million. But the studio said they would give $25 million to make the film. Fincher refused to make the film until the studio met his number, without compromise. This is amazing. Few directors have the strength or reputation to gain the full funding they want. Long before actors, crew, and locations are chosen, the director must fight for his film. The studio also wanted to cut 30 pages out of Sorkin's screenplay. At 178 pages, it's a long script, but Fincher refused. He saw how brilliant the screenplay was at its current page length, and insisted that because of the heavy dialogue, it was a 2-hour film. This is what Fincher does. Once he understands the vision he wants, he fights for it. Sorkin described Fincher as a bully that you want on your side. Fincher wanted to understand how fast the script played in Sorkin's head, because as the writer, Sorkin knew his story better than anyone else. So Fincher timed Sorkin as he read the script out loud. Then in rehearsal, he talked to the actors about running the scenes exactly at the same speed that Sorkin had read them. If Sorkin read a scene at 7 minutes 22 seconds, Fincher told the actors that the scene should play at 7 minutes 22 seconds. This is extremely meticulous filmmaking, but that isn't the crazy part. The opening scene alone had 99 takes, an insane number. Even with a fantastic script, Fincher knew that the film would live or die off the actors' performances. This is where the director's relationship with the actors comes into play. A director helps guide the actors through the emotional journey of a scene, sequence, and ultimately a film. Fincher is known for his extreme amount of takes, but we see stellar performances from actors in his films. Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Justin Timberlake, and Rooney Mara are just a few of the actors that had great performances in The Social Network. Initially, it seems that doing that many takes would be torture for the actors. But what do they think about this?
There's 2 things that I think are really advantageous to doing a lot of takes. One is it takes the pressure off of the individual take. Because I never felt like the pressure was on me to get it right away, because there was an understanding on the part of the 100 people working on the movie. The pressure never was on me because everybody knew that we'd be doing a lot of takes, so I never felt personally responsible for the time that was being used. And then the main thing is you could try different things, and you didn't worry that they'd only have those 2 options and they'd have to choose one, and they both kind of weren't hitting the mark. I really like it. I mean, I have a lot of insecurity about performing, so the more times you get to do it, the more times you get a chance to do it right.
Instead of torture, doing so many takes pulled weight off the shoulders of the actors.
Because you're with a director who likes to do that many takes, and he's very much a perfectionist, so if he doesn't think it's right, he's going to keep going until he gets what he wants, which is as an actor, the most comforting thing you can hear. You know, I feel very protected in this.
They didn't feel pressured to get it right the first time, and they were allowed to experiment.
It's kind of scary because as an actor, you always want it to be new and fresh and to feel spontaneous and real, and you're like, well, God, like after 10 times, how is it possibly going to feel spontaneous? But like it really, even at take 98 or 99, we were like, let's do one more. Like it never felt stale. It always felt really fresh.
With a script that would live off the actors' performances, Fincher created an environment where he could make sure the actors would get it exactly as he wanted. So what does Fincher think about this?
You know, people often, ask, well, why do you shoot so many takes? I think actors want to act. I don't think actors want to wait. I want actors in front of the camera most of the day. I would love them to be in front of camera on a 10-hour day, 8 hours, because I think it just makes them feel like I've exhausted the possibilities of that. I left it all on the floor. I have no more questions about what that scene could or should be.
Fincher is not trying to torture his actors. He's trying to explore all of the possibilities of the scene with the actors through their performances. Instead of rushing through scenes, he wants to make sure he not only gets what he wants, but collaborates with the actors to explore the scene.
My philosophy is you spend $250,000 on a set. You're gonna put it on a soundstage, it costs you $5,000 a day. You're gonna put $8,000 worth of lights you're gonna bring a $150,000 crew in. You're gonna bring actors in from all over the world. You're gonna put them up in hotels. They're gonna come there, and the idea is to get them out as soon as possible. If I fly you in from Iceland and you're supposed to do one day, I wanna make sure that we get it.
Working with Fincher can be exhausting for actors, but it also allows for more creative expression. Once actors understand why Fincher does what he does, it becomes possible for them to relax, explore a character more, and leave it all in the scene. But one of the things Fincher talks about is that a shot isn't just about the actors. Sure, they're in the frame and they're what you see, but so much is happening. Lighting, camera moves, focus pulling. Fincher doesn't just focus on nailing performance. He focuses on all aspects of making the specific shot, scene, sequence, and ultimately film. Jeff Cronenweth is David Fincher's longtime director of photography and collaborator. Fincher and Cronenweth worked together to create this hyper-reality of dark dorm rooms, dark buildings, and high-contrast shadows over their actors. Cronenweth says that Fincher wanted the audience to visually see the change between the tradition and elitism of the Ivy League and the bright world of California. This visual style is combined with Sorkin's writing style to create scenes that move back and forth quickly between close-ups and medium shots. The film trades fancy setups and crazy camera moves for tight, meticulously composed shots and intentional movement. Cronenweth said, "Let the actors act, and not get complicated with egotistical lighting moves. It would only distract." Directing is collaborating. It's making a decision and fighting for it. It's being open to criticism and better ideas. It's understanding how to communicate to an actor what exactly needs to be adjusted on their performance. It's collaborating to create a specific visual style. It's fighting for every aspect of a film and making sure everyone around you understands what you're pushing towards. David Fincher isn't like all directors, but I chose him to study because he has a unique style that works well. His exacting, intense, meticulous nature has helped create amazing works of art.